Hey guys, I'm excited. It's hard for me to keep saying that because you guys are like, "Well, you're always excited," but I am. We're going to get to some pretty complex code here, and that's something that I can't wait to see you guys tackle and tackle well. I have no doubt you guys will be able to rise to this occasion and be able to conquer this code. But there are some pretty complex concepts here, and I'm excited to take a look at them, get started with them, and give you guys a little head start as we run through the code we're looking at here. This is also another reason to be excited. This is the last tutorial in the conditional section of this course. So we're about done with conditionals and ready to move on to functions. That's pretty exciting also. So harvesting with conditionals is where we're looking, and the first activity in this lesson is a video. The video is worth watching because it kind of introduces the concepts we're going to look at in this lesson. So definitely, I would recommend it. It's worth checking out. I'm going to click the continue button because I just watched it. I know what's in it. Now, I'll say this, the first couple assignments here aren't so bad. Really, they're a chance for you to kind of grow with your code and think about how you can nest some concepts, meaning nested conditionals and nested statements. Some pretty good stuff, but let's just take a look at it, read through it, and get a few of these done so that you're ready to kind of branch out as you continue to get to more complex concepts. So here's what it says. Help the harvester check her row of corn to see if anything is ready to pick. Use conditionals to look at each sprout. Every stalk will either have 0 or 1 pieces of corn ready to harvest. So this is a simpler puzzle than something we'll get to later. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to keep walking forward. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares to walk forward through. So I'm going to repeat 5 times. Now, what is it I'm going to repeat 5 times? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward, and then if there's corn, I want to pick corn, right? Now that's really all the more complex we can make this code, because this is really all the more complex the coding concepts are that we have that we can use, right? We could have used a while path ahead instead of the repeat loop, but the repeat loop works just as well in this particular situation. You can see we use 5 of 5 coding blocks. Let's run and check it out, see what happens. We got one corn, we got one corn, one corn. We got all the corn, and we wrote pretty good code. So that works for level 1. I'm going to click continue here because we want to take another look at another level, right? So now we've got lettuce. Let us collect both crops from a row. That's fun, isn't it? Gardens mix up corn and lettuce. So I help the harvester pick the items that are ready for harvesting. And again, each plant will have either one corn or one lettuce. So we don't have to think about harvesting multiples yet, right? So what do we, well, again, I'm going to use that same repeat block. You could, again, use a well path ahead, but I'm looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps forward I got to take. So I'm going to start with making that repeat loop go 6 times. I'm going to put a move forward in there as my next step. The next thing I'm going to do is ask a question, and we can do this a couple different ways. But for me, I like to say, okay, if there is corn, what do I want to do? Pick corn. If there's not corn, I'm going to ask another question because it could be nothing. If there's lettuce, pick lettuce, okay? Once I've done that, I should be able to repeat that same process, checking for corn, checking for lettuce, and continue walking forward through my field. So let's check it out. Let's see how it works. Lettuce, got some more lettuce, lettuce it up. And I got a corn in the end. And again, that worked. The code works, fits in the number of blocks I'm allowed. Everything works out. And I'm ready to move forward. Corn, lettuce, and pumpkins, help me harvest them all. Again, it's only going to have one of each. So again, we're looking at nesting those same kind of statements over and over again and thinking about how we can check for each of those different kinds of things. It's more than one way to do it. But again, I would look at repeating, just keep walking forward. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks forward. So I'm going to change that to 7. Again, you could use this while path ahead instead and do the same thing, right? While there's a path ahead, we're going to move forward and we're going to check if it's corn. If it's corn, we're going to pick the corn. If it's not corn, we're going to check to see if it's pumpkins. If it's pumpkins, we're going to pick pumpkins. And if it's not, we're going to ask, are you lettuce? If you are lettuce, you're going to pick the lettuce, right? So we checked all three things. We used two nested if-else statements, and then we stuck in another if statement in the end of that, which is a lot of questions to ask. But again, it's the code that we need to check each of those different situations and also be able to successfully walk over those blank spaces without too much problem. So again, we fit it in the amount of code blocks that we were able to do. So this is, again, some pretty complex, pretty meaningful code. Now, I'm going to stop with this for a little while, and I'm going to let you guys do some exploration here. Keep in mind, if you need some hints, check for hints. If you need something else, get in touch. Mr. Emerson, Mr. Kizuka, we're more than happy to help you. I'm going to flash forward here, and I'm going to flash forward all the way to the end. And at the end, maybe I'm going to flash forward to the end. At the end, we've got a question, and this is a good one, right? It's asking, what's the code going to do when we run it? And I'm just going to click I don't know because I don't want to give it up, but you'll probably be able to figure that out here. Once I run it, it's going to run some code, and I'll be able to figure out what's going to happen. But here's what I want to keep in mind. Right here, when we get this place, we want to click the review code button so we can take the screenshot. It includes both our completed progress bar, our answer to this question, and the code that we didn't write, but that was written here for this 11th puzzle in this lesson. If you need help more than just like on just the bonus level or the challenge level, then get in touch with Mr. Emerson, Mr. Kizuka. If you're good, then skate through this code, screenshot, exit, take it when you get it done, and we're ready to see the magnificent things you guys have done. All right, guys. Well, let's get some code written, and we'll see you again next time.